Happy National Disability Employment Awareness Month. My name's Blake and I do product marketing here at Aira. I grew up with perfect vision and at the age of 16, a condition called LHON or Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy caused me to go through severe central vision loss, and I still maintain some peripheral vision on the sides. One of my first work experiences in college was being a tour guide for prospective students that were looking to check out the college. And I was incredibly doubtful and nervous if I could even get a job. And I was super thankful that I found this employment opportunity. And it definitely had its unique challenges of giving PowerPoint presentations, touring people around the school, being asked about what things were in the distance. At that time, I didn't use a cane. I tried to cover up my vision and I was insecure about it, just trying to prove myself. I realized it was incredibly ironic that a blind person would be a tour guide, but it really, in many ways, was made accessible for me, and I was just so grateful for the people around me that supported me and helped me figure out how to make things work. I was like, I don't really know how I'm going to figure this out, and they were like, we don't really know either. But they saw my potential and I really appreciated that, and had a huge impact on the start of my career. My first job out of college was a remote sales job, and it was a difficult time just finding a job, and I was thankful that I did find something. And being remote was super helpful, that I didn't have to worry about commuting to work. I was really received well by coworkers that wanted to help me figure things out. And I think there was this helpful mutual respect and desire to have understanding of how to work with me. Even people in HR, after my hiring process, they wanted to meet with me and ask, hey, how can we make this process better for other people with disabilities? And it was nice to collaborate. It's one of my first times. I'm just starting my career, but even when people aren't aware, don't know what to do, just having them want to understand, it was really helpful, and I just appreciated that supportive community in that first role I had out of college. My current role at Aira, I do a lot of different things and sit between the product and marketing team, helping from making sure the products we develop are accessible and meet the needs and desires of our explorers, and also working with marketing so that as we deliver things, we have good messaging, we launch products well, and are promoting all the awesome things that we do. I use various assistive technology to do the work I do. I use an iMac and have a desktop 27-inch screen, and I really like using a mix of voiceover and magnification. I find that combination works well for me, and I also use just various different little settings for visual tweaks or adjusting my screen reader. And whenever I run into an accessibility issue I can't get around, having Aira in my back pocket is always an awesome tool to be using while working, for sure. Misconception I've had to deal with related to my vision is having people wonder and not be sure how I can do certain tasks. And that has at times left me with frustration because I feel like I may do something different, but as long as I can get to that end result and deliver whatever task I need to do, I think it doesn't matter the means of getting there. So it's definitely caused challenges in trying to communicate my value, and especially when I can deliver results and still have those misconceptions, it can be hard and has left me at times to just want to work super hard to prove myself and deal with also just that misconception that I used to always believe of if someone has the same resume as me but is sighted or fully able-bodied, then they're going to pick that person. That led me to try to achieve 125% of what others did. That constant push to prove value is really tiring, and there's never enough that you can achieve, and it's really not about proving yourself to others, but me learning to prove myself to myself and understand my own worth and value and not let others' doubts get in the way of that. when I think about comparing my resume to someone who is sighted and they have all the exact same experiences and qualifications, I realize that my lived experience with my disability gives so much of an advantage with the skills that I've gained of being a problem solver, being adaptable, being more patient, being good with technology, all sorts of different things, and just learning how to communicate the value of my disability has been just really helpful to build that confidence. But yeah, I think it's like trying to communicate where there's challenges from people's misunderstandings and perceptions. As my career transitioned into the accessibility and assistive technology fields, it was awesome to realize that I could use my lived experience and passion for technology in my career, and realize that with my experience, I guess I had such experience that I was leaving on the table. And through working in this field and now working for Aira, it's awesome to be able to bring that to the table. And I used to never think that technology would be such a passion of mine, and it really has become. And so it's been awesome to, even transition from working in the mountain bike industry, which was something I've always been passionate about, but really transition to be like, no, this is really what I care about. And it can really just help increase how my feelings of the value I can provide. But even working in this field, I still have to work with my own personal tensions and history with trying to unnecessarily prove myself or not fully understanding my value. And so wherever I go, I'm still always there. And so there can still even be challenges, even if I'm constantly in highly supportive environments. Biggest desire for workplaces that would want to be more accessible and accommodating for people with disabilities would really just be to seek to understand. I think there's so many specific things I could jump to, and I recognize that making your workplace more accessible can be so daunting, but so fundamentally, I think it's just seeking to understand, and having that high level mindset and framework can really absorb any disability in any situation, because it doesn't require you to have the answers, but it requires you to be mindful, curious, to figure out what those answers might be. And if you are seeking to understand, you're being collaborative with people with disabilities. And I can deal with challenges of being misunderstood. And so if people seek to understand, if they're curious, if they ask questions, it bridges that gap of misunderstanding and helps us all figure out what those solutions are. And I just really think at a high level, that's so crucial, and the one domino that can hopefully continue to topple the rest towards making a more accessible workplace. Thanks for joining Aira for National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Stay tuned for more videos from Aira employees and other explorers this month.